Hi, Taurus. So I basically had to push a little bit of your energy today, and I just kept hearing slow and steady, but it really made me think about Uranus being in Taurus for how many years now and what that must be doing to your energy, because that Uranus influence is so unstable, it's so chaotic that it must be very interesting for the Taurus energy to feel almost that push upon them at all times. But we know that we've got like what, one more year before Uranus is out of Taurus. This all started May 16th, 2018, like to the day. And that is when everybody's foundation has completely shifted around. That's when all Taurus energy has been shaken up in some way, right? So welcome. This is your October 2024 reading for Taurus. I'm Vanessa from Beyond Your Sun Sign, and I'm super excited to connect to your energy because it is always just so calming. But yeah, that slow and steady, I love how much it paces me and it slows me down. It says, wait, let's do this properly with care instead of rushing through it and having to redo it. So I always appreciate Taurus energy. And it's funny because when I think about Taurus energy, I guess we do kind of think about the bull in the china shop. But how did the bull get into the china shop? That's what I'm saying. Like, you forget the context of the analogy, even the analogy, the metaphor, like grabbing the bull by the horns, like that's Taurus energy. People know that in order for them to seize their energy, they need to contain their Taurus, which says, hold on, slow down. Don't get too crazy that you end up being placed in an environment that is not suitable for you, because a bull in a china shop is insanity, but a bull in an arena, like that is, yeah. So is it just that we're looking at our environment this month when it comes to Taurus energy, seeing if we're being placed in a china shop, or if we're being placed in the arena in which we thrive, or if we're being placed in the pastures, right? Like somewhere where we actually are well nourished. So look around this month, October, at all of your relationships. Which relationships are putting you in a china shop where you have to be so aware of their sensitivities or their feelings, or you have to be super delicate, walking on eggshells. You can't have your opinions and your facts. You're being pushed. Like at the end of the day, a bull who's sleeping in a china shop, as opposed to a bull that's being, triggered within a china shop. Look around at your relationships. What arena are you being placed into, especially during this Libra season? Okay, so beneath the surface, we've got just one card that is face down. When a card is face down, especially within your subconscious, you want to push it down. But hello, we're not going to do that. Not this month, because what we're pushing down is our excitement and our joy. One thing about Taurus energy I find is that it is content. It is content in the small pockets of time. I find that the most content I see Taurus energy is when they're indulging in a pleasure, in something like it almost brings you pleasure to witness Taurus energy experiencing pleasure. Like it's a very beautiful, soft energy. And this is within your subconscious. The things that you enjoy, especially the things that bring you emotional happiness, you're pushing them down. I'm not quite sure why. I'm sure the cards will tell. I'm not quite sure why, but this month in particular, you're pushing down your Three of Cups deep into your subconscious, almost like you don't want, well, let's see. Okay, so on top of that, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So destiny shifting, things changing. That's the Uranus influence. Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is like this energy of just having all of the abundance you could possibly need, feeling so secure with the shifts that have been happening in your life. So although Uranus has been in Taurus, creating chaos when it comes to the Taurus energy, all these changes out of your control, a need to rebel but almost not knowing how, all of that is as to reward you, because we're getting up to the tail end of it. Like this started back in 2018, so we're getting up to the tail end, and you're starting to be more content with the shifts that have happened. Maybe you're not even seeing it as chaotic anymore. Maybe it's not even seen as a change. Now in hindsight, it's seen as a positive shift. Look at May of 2018, and it should be an of course, but at the time, it was chaos. It was absolute chaos to your foundation, but now it's a shift and you're feeling more content about it. So you can safely create the pocket to start to uncover and express your emotional joy now, because this is a new arena. After how many years of it just being chaos, and Taurus energy does not like that, right? After how many years of it, you can finally create the space to allow your joyful, pleasurable, happy, optimistic, creative energy to come back up into your subconscious and do more of the steering. Because for too long, what was steering was us just trying to find our foundation. We don't need to do that anymore. We can really start to slowly bring up joy, so that when July 2025 hits and Uranus finally moves out of Taurus, your sign, you're gonna know what even brings you pleasure and joy. You're gonna be able to say, oh, this is what brings me joy. So the Five of Wands creates conflict, especially with other people, especially people that think that the world kind of revolves around them. And then the Ten of Cups, which is a lot of emotion. So beneath the surface, what you're not seeing is that there are opportunities for joy coming up this month, and you are on the trajectory of change. It's shifting energy that in 2018, it was chaotic, and now it's funny how we forget that the chaos of it. And now it's just a shift that was, of course, meant to happen. We are finally feeling more content, more secure, where we can create the opportunities to slowly let joy and pleasure seep back into our subconscious. But there are some conflicts that are happening subconsciously, mainly because it's been so long of experiencing chaos when it comes to foundation, that any opportunity to kind of allow that to come in, it's going to be tested. Where it's like, can I express myself openly? Or especially when it comes to my foundation, or am I going to lose it all? And that is bringing in a lot of emotions this month. So this is all beneath the surface, but then on the surface level, more than anything, we have the High Priestess. So look how beautiful this card is. The High Priestess is absolutely incredible. It's the energy of being as intuitive and as in alignment as you possibly can be, recognizing the detachment, like the yin and the yang. So being able to detach ourselves emotionally in order to explore and experience what's happening around us. The High Priestess this month is really based on how much power you have emotionally. Something about this Uranus transit has really shifted your emotional energy, and it's actually quite beautiful, but you have a lot more emotional maturity. I think people are still kind of keeping you locked in the past, where it's like, oh, their Taurus energy, it's too sensitive. But I think now that you're realizing, and like that's the thing, Taurus energy is not supposed to be sensitive. So that just goes to show that if they're finding a sensitivity to you, it's because they're putting you in a china shop when you should be in green pastures, right? So this is showing your High Priestess energy this month. Your intuition is on point. Like, it is beautiful the way that you're orchestrating and coordinating your energetic life, and you're gaining a lot of power this month, October, a lot of power. However, judgment always seeps in. Your ruling planet, Venus, is in Libra, the planet of judgment, the sign of judgment, and you are judging. So your intuition is showing you this incredible, organized orchestration of events that you curated, and it makes so much sense that it's something that you clearly organized, but the judgment that you're placing on what you've created, it's never going to be seen as, like, the standards are just too high. The standards are way too high, when even your bare minimum, I'll tell you one thing about Taurus, bare minimum Taurus is still elevated. It's still elevated. It's part of being a fixed sign. That energy is always going to vibrate high, and stubbornly, Taurus energy is able to hold on to that frequency and maintain it. That's a huge gift. Maintaining a frequency, maintaining wealth, maintaining abundance, maintaining security and dependability. Air signs could never, Scorpio could never, right? No, the emotions would just be like this. The fact that Taurus is actually able to stabilize once they do get to that stable position and they're able to maintain it is such a gift. So the judgment is being placed on your intuition because of years of judging your intuitive decisions and also your intuitive actions. It's funny because the most intuitive people I know are Taurus, and a lot of the times they second guess themselves. I find that their intuition shows up through almost like what they're giving. You know, like I'll need something and it will come from a Taurus. And that is intuition at the end of the day, because it ends up healing me to know that, okay, I have Scorpio energy around me that they're able to tap into my emotional needs. Okay, I didn't know I needed that emotion, but thank you. Taurus, when you know that someone is looking out for your tangible physical needs, it creates such an opportunity. Like for me, my mother-in-law is a Taurus and she is the backbone of my family. We depend on her so much, And that's a consistency. That's incredible. It's a gift. So the judgment that you're placing on yourself when it comes to your intuition is misguided because you're judging the wrong form of intuition, the wrong form of it. It's not the emotional intuition. It's when it's like, I feel like my friend could use this, and then explore that. I feel like my friend could really use a new candle. Why? Because she needs rest. She needs self-care. Why? Because she's probably burnt out. Why? And then keep exploring until you realize the true root. And then that's the intuition that you need, right? If I get to the root of it, that as a Taurus, I am connecting to my Cancerian friend who feels like she needs, a hug. What does it really come down to? Oh, she's sad. Okay, let's work through that. Wow. So intuitive, so in touch with my feelings. I was using actual tangible things to understand how you feel. So the judgment that you're placing on your intuition is misguided because you do have incredible intuition, but you're judging it off of like a completely different. Some people have intuition like this, like with cards and with runes and with stuff like that, or with smells. For you, it's through the tangible. And that's just as intuitive as any other source of help or nurturing or guidance, or, you know what I mean? Okay. Beneath the surface is the Lover's card. So part of your intuition is through your soulmate connections. All you're thinking about is the karma right now. What goes around comes around. And even a lot of the times questioning, okay, this feels like a past life thing. Like this feels deeper than that. Sometimes I find that with Taurus energy, when they do come epiphany and they recognize something as fact, it's a really beautiful thing. It's steadfast and it's determined in a world that is so flimsy and flaky. And I think that Taurus energy is really needed right now, especially with Uranus being in Taurus. Nothing really feels real. Nothing's really felt real since 2018. Like, let's get real. Well, for me at least. I'm not quite sure about you, but yeah, nothing's actually felt tangible or real. And it's because Taurus is in a tornado right now. Beneath the surface, it's all karmic. It's all about our karmic connections. Numerology wise, we're in the universal year 8, which is all about what goes around comes around. You're seeing that. You're seeing that through and through this month, that what goes around comes around. And it's another way that you use your intuition. So for example, if you've been putting out so much energy in an area in your life and you're not getting anything back, even like something like a token of appreciation, you know that there's a imbalance, a karmic imbalance. The frequency that you're on right now is a 3 of Swords, which is, of course, feeling heartbroken when it comes to those cycles. It looks like there's 2 cats here. So that goes back to your intuition as well, where you are opening your eyes to quite a bit, opening your ears as well. But sometimes it just makes you kind of go a little bit crazy and lightheaded when you think about everybody's choice and like the decisions that they make to follow those choices. So I think that right now your Taurus energy is realizing that their thoughts and their actions aren't in alignment, which is actually a good thing, because there's a lot of people that either act without thinking, or they think and then they just act. Whereas Taurus energy is actually able to separate the thought from the action, which is the earth in between, right? So the action would be the fire, and then the thought would be the wind. So air needs to kind of fan the flame of a fire, like a fire needs oxygen, but of course it also needs earth. So you're recognizing how integral your grounding energy is when it comes to thought and action. That's the frequency that you're on, and you're trying to understand why other people don't just stop and separate the thought from the action. Just because you think one thing doesn't mean that you have to do that thing. And just because you do that thing doesn't mean that you have to think that thing. You know what I mean? For me, I'm a double air. So if I think, that's all I do. I don't even do anything. I just think, right? But the fire signs, the air signs, they think and act. And that's what you're working with right now. So look back on a fire sign and an air sign that really impacted you. Air being Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, and fire being Leo, Aries, or Sag. Look back, because there's still a heartbreak within that, because the fire sign would do without thinking, and the air sign would think and do. Like, think and do it. And then you're the only one that's able to think and not do. Okay? See what I'm saying? So, when it comes to family and friends, we have the Three of Pentacles. Things are looking good when it comes to family and friends, because you've basically found your flock. Even if it's small, even if it's microscopic, and it's not even a full one person, it's an online friend from, Timbuktu, but it's your community. You have officially built your hive, a safe space container where you can flock, where you can fly, where you can express yourself authentically. And that's within your family/friends. The beautiful thing about it is that it's like a honeycomb. You can continue to build and build and build on it. And it's been very, very sweet to you. So congratulations. All right, hope and fear is a masculine fire sign, maybe the masculine fire sign that I was talking about down here with the Three of Swords. So this is male energy, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. And use your intuition. When you see this flag right here, what color is it? Comment below. Because obviously if you see red, yeah, there's a hope and a fear that your intuition, the one that you're judging so harshly because you have an emotional maturity, this masculine fire sign is your hope and your fear connected to that. So this masculine fire sign probably showed red flags in the past where your intuition either harshly judged it and was wrong, or didn't do anything. Remember the thought and the not do, the disconnect? So thought really harshly about them and their red flags, but didn't do anything about it. So now you hope to, you fear to perpetuate that, but you also hope to do it because, of course, we end up perpetuating it in order to heal it. So because you're in your intuitive energy, you're like, let me just recreate this experience once again with a masculine energy fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Is it a red flag? Is it a green flag? Is it a white flag of I just want to be over this. I just want to clear this, do a cord cutting. Is it a purple flag where it's royalty, wisdom? What does this person have over me? Is it a black flag? Death? You know what I mean? Wanting to end and completely start over. Really ask your intuition what color this flag is, and it will tell you all of your hopes and your fears when it comes to this masculine fire sign and your incredible intuition in October of 2024. Okay. Outcome. I stopped right there at 2020. That was cool. Outcome. 10 of Pentacles. Abundance. Growth. Experiencing even more abundance. Having so much abundance because it is your karmic promise. As a Taurus, you have walked in to this lifetime with the energy of abundance as your birthright. Okay? I don't care. It's so funny. I have a Taurus rising brother-in-law that he's had a million jobs. He's definitely not rich. He's passed on now. Definitely wasn't rich, but he's owned everything. If you ask any, like a Taurus rising has owned, they have abundance to them. You know, I was just hearing about this woman I knew when I was younger, and she just seemed so rich and elegant and abundant to me. She wasn't, but when I was young in comparison, but that's the Taurus energy. They have a karmic regalness to them, and that is bringing in the 8 of Swords this month. So you are going to be powerless to your thoughts. But the good thing about being powerless to your thoughts is that you can disconnect from your thoughts and your actions. You don't need your thoughts to rule you. So it's almost going to be like a test where it's like my thoughts are telling me this is that, but I don't have to do it. You know, there are some people where it's like, I'm going to tell my boss off, and if they don't do it, they go crazy. But there are other people where it's like they can have the thought and not do it. And there's people that are kind of like in between. So you're really going to see this month how you can have the thoughts of powerlessness, but still have so much abundance and karmic balance in order to create the thought without doing the action. Okay. Have an amazing October. And of course, if you would like to connect live for a personalized reading, I'll link you below. Have an amazing month, and I will see you next month. Bye.